Evening everyone, how are we doing tonight? Welcome along Charlie, Richard, Farm Life, Josh. Hope we're all well. Yes, Cattle and Crops has had another update. It's had 4 or 5 this year now. This time we've got seasons, GPS and a couple other bits on here. Been threatened to have a look at it for a little while, but not quite got that far. So they've changed the start location on here now. We're actually now starting at the shop or the warehouse. Oh, personal opinion, I like a Jag. It's actually due for release next year. Full release is next year as a single player game. So it's a good alternative to Cattle and Crops, or to Farm Sim. I haven't been any further than the warehouse at the moment to see what's going on here. There's other selling points on here, just depends how much realism you like. So we've got a few issues up there. Yeah, they've put back the release date. It was actually due out this month. They said rather than rush it out with multiplayer, they'll get it completely sorted for release. I think it's second quarter next year. Then they'll sort the multiplayer side out afterwards. So I've done a few changes, but we need to sort of get a few bits done, shall we say. So let's have a look what we've got up here. We're not doing hay. No way are we doing hay. Not yet. Cattle and Crops is aiming at a completely different markup. So we've got a few up there to get through. I've started a new save game so we can have a look at the new features basically. Because the original one was in July and this one is not. There we go. Just got to remember what controls do what, because it's a little while since we've been on here now. I haven't cheated any money in yet either. So we need to accept the farm to start with. Last time he's done this there was a bit of a glitch, shall we say. So we no longer have to wait for the MB track to come to us. It is already at the warehouse as soon as we accept them. So we've got to take this up to our yard and hopefully the glitch has been sorted. What was there before? They did say they've sorted the silage clamp out now, so we start with silage again. So we'll just head up to the yard to start with. I think actually before we do anything else we'll just slow the time down. That's going to go way too fast on here, as per usual. Once we get going a little bit, we'll have a look at the FPS on here. See if they've tweaked that. It needed tweaking. Hey Chunky, how are we doing? There's 2 maps, there's a test map and there's this map. So brakes are certainly working. I'm good, thanks Ogan, how are we doing? I'm good, thanks Chunky. Have you been playing this anymore after you bought a Chuggy? This is the first time I've been on since it gained seasons. It certainly does. Let's just try and remember what I've got mapped to what control at the moment. Hey Rabbit Man, how are we doing? It's improved a lot since the start of the year, Steve. Not much tonight, Josh. Busy day, but all done now. Get these little missions out of the way first up there. Evening, David, how are we doing? Dare I ask how wet it got with you today up there? I think that was on offer the other week on Steam, this game. Well, that's new. Before you just had to dump it in the yard, we've now got to put it in the shed. You'll be lucky to get this on console yet, Farm Life. The FPS is a dead giveaway as to one of the reasons you won't get on console yet. I can spot one bug they haven't fixed. Still haven't fixed the cultivator. Hey Tim, how you doing? What's an improvement in cab? 80 FPS, I've never got that high on cattle and crops before. You have to just listen with the other one then. Right, so the first mission is done. That must leave us with the biogas one. This is on PC, Josh. So just what have we got to do for 60 to 120 minutes? Certainly didn't take that long last time, but we'll have a look. That's not Axion, so where's the Axion? There we go. least we haven't got far to go. So it's not messed around with any of my key bindings. So it took me a long while to set this up. I was never impressed by school farm life. Don't matter which day it was. Silo 3, don't tell me there ain't anything in the silos now. And what have they been trying to teach you today? That's the one I think is the textures on that class are dreadful. So, the scales might actually be working now. Hey Clone Commander, how are we doing? Drive to the parking lot, okay. Hope they're big spaces. Ah, that sounds like a recipe for disaster if Townies wrote the lesson, shall we say? Bit like when my teacher tried to tell me spring cereals are combined in the spring and winter cereals are combined in the winter. Okay, so how do we get into the control panel? I hope I actually told you how to get in there. Okay. Open bunker hatch fire display. Oh, that's what the textbook said, so that had to be right. As we know, textbooks are never wrong. Okay. Didn't realise the silage clamp was covered. Right, let's hope that my key bindings are still working. Some of them are. Oh, sounds like you had a teacher with an agenda. Well, this is going to be fun. Key bindings won't come up. At all. We've not got any keys mapped. Oh, it's decided it's going to open now, has it? Don't ask me what I've done to get that to open, but decided it was going to. Oh dear. I think I need to cheat some money in and get my toy again on here. Just how full can we get this bucket? Hey Peter, how are we doing? Welcome along. It's not actually running too badly at the moment for cattle and crops. Can't even say what one of the guys at Norwich Livestock Market put on the sign when the vegans were protesting there. And the animal rights lot, but it was good. I'm good, thanks. So what did we all think to the player and fire press I took a look at today in the video then? Yeah, I do think we need to get onto that subject tonight, really. So obviously the weighbridge is on imperial measurements. Now, that player and fire press I looked at today, did anyone notice what brand the fire press was? We know it's a Coon player, which is an in-game brand. The fire press is branded Lizard. Why would you brand something as Lizard for PC? Hey Spencer, how are we doing? Well, it's been wet for a lot of the day, Gavin. Welcome along. Yeah, the TheraPress has a Lizard brand name on it. Now, why would you do that for a PC mod? I know it's been released on various sites now. Think about it. There's no special scripts on that player and TheraPress. Tim? Just a suggestion. There's no reason that mod would not work on something exactly Rabbit Man. If there's no special scripts on it, there's nothing to stop it from getting there, if possible. Class 2 Kano was the only combine on here last time I looked, Ethan. I haven't looked to see if they've updated any other vehicles on here. Who knows, but certainly there's nothing what would stop it if the modder wanted to put it there from what I can see. The TheraPress just attaches like another implement. Okay, that's another one done. Right, let's have a look what we've got in game then. Right, so some of these are mods. I know the Kverneland stuff are mods. The Bristol and Lard stuff is, Bristol and Lard is in-game. Class is in-game. So that's all in-game stuff there. The Scorpion is a mod, which works very well. You've got the Tucana 570 and the correct size Vario 930 header for it. Why on earth Farm Sim didn't do the 930, I don't know. That's a mod. Daman is in game. They're both in game, the Deutz-Fars. Hammer is an in-game brand. Horver, Josken. The Crone is a mod. That's in game. That's in game. They're all mods. They're all mods. That's in game. Certainly do, Spence. You have to usually pull a hydraulic ram to do it. The New Holland Forager is a mod. New Holland Combine are mods. That's in game. They're in game. All these ones. Kverneland is a mod, which we'll try to avoid using. We might try again just for comedy value, see if it does its party trick again like it did the first time. And the Z is a mod. So I've got a few mods on here. So there are some mods out there for this. Alright, let's get back up and just have a look what we've got in here. So we've got a job from the cooperative. It smells, but we need it. And bring in the hay, I'm going to try and avoid because I know how long that one takes. Yeah, there's mods for this. It's early access, so it's released as an early access game. You can mod for it. So we've got the slurry one, which looks like they've changed it yet again. So it's saying we now get the fertiliser at the sewage plant again. Last time we had to get it from our farmyard. Let's see what they've done this time. Just gonna get rid of that. Okay, what's at the back of the barn? What have they moved? Well, it looks like we are filling up from the yard again. This used to be at the sewage works at one time. As long as it's got a decent graphics card, Rabbit Man. Because if you look in the top corner, I'm getting 36, 37 FPS with an RTX 2070 and a Ryzen 7 2700X, so it will need a decent system. But we do know they're working on a new graphics engine update for this, which should sort all that. I would say if the laptop has integrated graphics, you could have a problem. So you'll notice on the top of the screen there, it's telling us the fertiliser analysis of the slurry. So it connects the pipework and everything up there. And gate valves open. Alright, so off to field 3 as per normal. Looks of it. If the pipe wants to disconnect, it looks like it's still filling despite telling me to drive off. That's what you've got to watch for with this game. We've got to make sure we put enough slurry on as well, otherwise it doesn't let us finish the job. As we found out the hard way last time. Hey Barn Lodge. Well, that sounds good. When you find out if you get in or not. See, the fields even lay wet on hair, how they are in real life at the moment. The water line on them. I'm guessing we're auto-saving, or I hope we were. Well, hopefully you get on with that one then. Let's put itself back up to 10 times time in the top corner there. So let's see what we're set at the moment, because it was fairly ridiculously high last time. Okay, so 40,000. So set at 40,000, which isn't full dose. So we'll see what it does. Oh, good luck with that one. First driving lesson is always the interesting one. Thanks for the follow, Spider. Much appreciated. So at least we can see where we've been at this dose rate. There's only one little problem. There's something missing off the screen which has been a bit irritating. The fill gauge is missing off the screen for the implement. You just have to watch for when it runs out, basically. Hey James, how are you doing? Certainly did, Ethan. Alright, so slurry isn't going to go very far on here. The FPS is better than it was. Be interesting to see what their new graphics engine does on there. Isn't that pretty much all of the UK at the moment, James? It takes a little while to fill up this thing. But we should be able to see how we're doing if we go into the map. Find field 3. If you click on each one, you can see where we are. We're bringing that up into the green. That's coming up. And that's coming up as well. Yeah, it has. Luckily I've been inside all day today, so it's been quite good. So this is where it's completely different to Farm Sim. You've got to balance the fertilisation. And the field prices are much more reasonable, as you can see. Bit more true to life, shall we say. That cat must have something good down there. Yeah, it's not good. I think David can vouch for the East Midlands. What it's like there. Hopefully you can still batter cars on here if they get in the way. So as you can see by the sky, we have got dynamic sky on here. Hey James Rugby, how are we doing? Just turn that time down again. I'm sure the pigs will be happy, even if you aren't. More mud for them to have a play in. So we're on at 52 FPS, which isn't too bad for this game. As it still isn't exactly the best optimised game out there, shall we say. Yeah, that's not good though. Got to use all that. As you can see where I'm overdosing on here, we're getting a nice sort of wet, blotchy line of slurry down the field. I've been getting them off Forbidden Mods, which usually links to Mod Hoster. Certainly does. Hey MJ, how are we doing? I haven't managed it yet, but I think you could. I know you can make a serious mess on here, on some fields. If they're too wet. I think if you aim for one of the wettest patches, you can make some good ruts on there. We can try it. We've got some fields with water on them on here. That field to the left there is laying with water. Let's see what happens if we drive onto the wetter stuff. Not a great amount, because it's not our field, basically. Let's face it, any sort of dynamic ground is better than nothing in the game. Probably more money than we've got to spend, I would imagine. We've got £75,000 at the minute because I haven't cheated anything yet. We'll cheat some money in once we've sort of got somewhere with this. You can cheat money in quite easily. It's a bit more of a steady fill rate on here to what Farm Sim is. what will be interesting to see is when we get to autumn on here as to what colours we get. Yeah, definitely more realistic. You'll see when we do some other bits on here about realism. We can buy different blends of fertiliser for different crops. So if your crop wants more potash, you put a high potash fertiliser on it. If you want more nitrogen, you put a nitrogen fertiliser on there instead. It's not one fertiliser for everything with this game. And if you don't fertilise a crop, it does make a difference to growth. I did put a video on in my Discord of that several weeks ago. They have now gone to partnership with the publishers of Profi magazine and one or two others. It was their latest press release last week. The FPS really isn't running too bad on here compared to how it has done in the past. So definitely improved it. Profi are better than Farmers Weekly. I wouldn't have the yellow peril if you paid me to. It's a waste of money. I do get the Profi magazine, I also get Farm Machinery Journal. Everything in Farmers Weekly is old news, basically. In some cases it's been stolen off the Internet Farming Forum. That's been proven. Farmer's Guide is a much better magazine and cheaper. Farmers Guide still send me a resubscribe thing regularly. I'm not paying that much money for a magazine subscription a year. More than likely, David. I've had it since it first came out. One of the better magazines out there. Farmer's Guide is once a month. That's good because of the classified section in there. I haven't got the Farmer's Weekly for... Well, someone bought me one a few weeks back, but other than that I haven't actually subscribed to it for a couple of years. Ah, I see. Now you say that, I think I can remember seeing that in there. There's better magazines out there now as far as I'm concerned than Farmer's Weekly. Especially for the price. I think I can remember the player one. Now you say that. Because you've got yourself a bit of a odd player there, ain't you, for most people? Going away from the mainstream brands. Remember, it's a green Vogel and Newton outside Amazon. About halfway there now. We could turn the spread rate down, but I know what will happen after last time. You have to go over the field a second time to finish the task. Yeah, anyone who's had anything to do with Vogel and Newt players will know that they may not look heavy, but you try picking one up. At least Amazon seemed to have improved the build quality from the previous ones. I have used 2 Vogel and Newts. One of them had a major warranty repair 1 week out of warranty, when the headstock snapped off them. The 6 furrow mounted we used. As for the 6 furrow semi mounted, well, that ended up having a very big repair on it, and it ripped in half. No, the 6 furrow mounted does turn over the head, and as a loud bang, and it dropped on the furrow width slide. It split along the weld. They said it wasn't covered out under warranty yet. It's only a couple of days out. Till our guy pointed out, well, if you look at the weld on the slide there's some flaws in it, so you'd better cover it, or else. Another couple of tankerfuls yet. Yeah, I'd like to see what they've done to the semis, because essentially the Hector was a good plough. Just needed a bit more reinforcing in the front beam. Because that one that the chap had I was helping had catastrophic failure there. In that the front half of the beam parted company off the front of the headstock, taking the tail end of the 2 rams with it and bending them like bananas in the process. It was incredibly hard year ploughing that year though. It did have a big Renault Atlas on the front of it as well. So I hope there's plenty of bull poo in there. There's got to be more bull poo in that tank there is in the Labour Party conference. Front mounted, what a cruel farm life. That's why you need a big beefy tract and big overrated front linkage to control them. Get them set up right there, damn good tool. So I know over them, we'll try to push them over here a couple of years back again. I've actually got a photograph somewhere of my late father using one in the 80s, what he was demonstrating to someone. Ransom's one. On an old Q-cab Ford. You need a good careful operator with front mounted equipment, especially big ones. If you want to see something cruel on the front linkage, try a sumo front press. That'll give us some stick. Certainly did our old 8560. We had to have a front sumo press to equal out the weight of our KRM drill. Problem was, without the drill on the back, you couldn't steer the tractor if you had the press on the front linkage. But if you put the drill on first, you couldn't get out the shed with it because the front wheels are off the ground. So it's a case of put the drill in the back of the barn, drive straight out of the doors and dump the press opposite the barn doors. Yeah, I don't know if any of the other farming guys in chat have ever used or come across the KRM Opti drill, but that was a really heavy piece of kit. First 8560 we had suffered terribly for having it on it. Fiat F140 really struggled with it before we had the Ford or the New Holland. When we used to use the Opti drill on the Fiat F140, it was more interesting, shall we say. You had to actually knock the hydraulic fan out of gear or knock the spool valve out so you could lift the drill up at the ends of the field. If you tried to lift the drill up with the hydraulic fan running, there wasn't enough oil flow to lift it. To heat the back end of the tractor up very nicely as well. We didn't have grey paint on the back end of our 8560, we had purple paint. where that had been cooked. Now, how much would it take for Farm Sim to put that hose in game? Just so you can actually connect it up like that. Well, we had it as a mod in 17, and the Universal Tankers all had it in 17. I think it's second quarter next year, from memory. I did put it in my Discord in the cattle and crop section the other day. There's our dog. I wonder where that had gone. I can't honestly remember Farm Life because I'd moved to PC by the time that came out. To be honest, I don't really do that much slurry in Farm Sim. How much more the game's going to make us do with this. Well, a couple of tankfuls, no doubt. I don't know what the plans are for release, whether they're going to try and get it on console or not. Certainly as it stands at the moment, I don't think console would run it. But the FPS is a lot better than it was on version 5, or 0.5 rather. Yeah. I mean, the game really is the ultimate in realism, with its various fertilisers and that sort of thing. That's way beyond what a lot of people want. And it's currently hitting 100 FPS, that was unheard of before. I couldn't get up to that level prior to this update, even with this setup. It's a definite improvement. I think you'll be trying a long while somehow. There's certainly nothing to use to unstuck, just get yourself out of being stuck, shall we say, on there. Problem is, once you're out of a machine, it won't move. As you look across the field, you can see the different colours in the soil. I don't know. I don't know just how dynamic the soil is on here in that respect at the moment. Probably not. That would take a lot of programming to get that one to work, I think you'll find. No, you can't. But every update is improving the game still at the moment. You just did. Can't add so much to drink today then. I don't know if this will be the last tank or whether there'll be one more. I would say there's going to be at least one more yet, looking at what's left in the slurry tank. Don't want to hit the dog because I've done that before with the booms of the slurry tanker. And we have Super Dog on here. He's made out of titanium. You can drag him the full length of the field with the slurry tanker booms. Or could do. Traffic is quicker on here, as you can see. So let's see how far we can get this time. Slow progress, but progress nonetheless. Let's see if that finishes it going back up the field, or if we do need another tank full. I guess we probably need another tank full yet. Things seem to be changing all the time on how what they've done and planning on. Okay, decide to fold up then. Interesting. Okay, now it's decided it's empty, so yeah. Obviously don't need too much more now looking like the status bar. Have to have a look and see what other jobs that's come up with then. There's not too much left in our holding tank now. Don't think we're going to need all that to finish this field, or I hope not. That cat certainly hasn't moved far. Lazy creature. See if this one finishes up, please. And the first time we had to go at this, the tank wouldn't unfold and wouldn't behave properly at all, so at least it is actually working. I'm not brave enough to try and hire a helper again on here though, after that maize harvest I done a while back. Still receiving therapy for using the helpers on here. So let's go down and see where we finish up. Probably needing another tank full, I'd imagine. You can complete the jobs early, but you don't get the points for it then. Tell me it's going to be the smallest bit left to do with another tank full. Looks like it. One more tank full needed. So if it was your own field and not on a mission, you could turn the spread rate right down. I know if you do that on a mission from last time, and that won't let you complete it, you have to go over the field again. On the plus side, at least there's no floating trees on here. So I think the biggest update to this game will come when they use the new graphics engine. That's when we're going to see some big differences. How everything works, looks and performs for what was said. Almost there. Fingers crossed this is the last load. Can't say how it can't be with how that bar is now. It has to guess that our cattle are going to need feeding before long on here. Let's see where we end up this time. Okay, so after all that, that's as far as we needed to go to complete the contract. Literally how short we were. Right, so I'm guessing we're now going to take this off, and that'll do this little one. Not quite sure what that time works out to. Might be slightly glitched there. Right, what have we got now? Nothing about feeding cows in there or there. Error. Reassuring. Hey Elite, how are we doing? Finished having a clean up with the Vanish now, have we? So, we've got that one. You've toasted it, have you, Elite? We've got the high one. We've got the cultivating one. Still the odd glitches in here by the looks of it. We know the Tucana one can be fairly glitchy. We'll do that one because otherwise we're not going to have time to do the other one tonight. I bet. I've had one or two windows go over the air. They're never quite prepared for the noise it makes when one goes in a tractor. To say it goes off with a bang is an understatement. Right, so we just need to batter the cultivator. Because, if I remember rightly, we may struggle to get it on where it is. Because it's through a brick wall. We can try, but, yeah. Now you tell me how we're supposed to get that on. You can't. So, we have to just give it a little nudge, shall we say. Full ramming speed needed, I think. You'd have thought they'd have noticed this when they'd done the last update. No, I've never had one go on the road. I will say, I've had a few go in the field. Windscreen with a potato home topper, door with a hedge cutter, back window with a batwing topper. I would think so, Elite, at the moment. I would hazard to guess we are tomorrow. The boss hasn't told me otherwise yet. I haven't actually seen him tonight, to be fair. Okay, so slightly changed the animations of the cultivator. Now it doesn't seem to... Yeah, okay. It works still. Interesting. Let's just have a look at something here. So, guessing that means four-wheel drive is on. All the mirror adjustments in there. Yes, it does. It's got to be called just mods. So I've got various folders on my PC. Got one called Cornbrook Mods, and the mods folder for that is in there. GD Mods was in another one. It's on his MPs. You just swap them round. Call the folder mods one, the game may not recognise it. That's the problem. So if you go in the right speed, all the animations work perfectly. If you go too quick, the animations stop working. I don't know where he is tonight then. Missing in action. I didn't leave Essex until 20 to 4, so there's no chance of me getting in your stream. It's amazing where those little bits of glass get to. You'll be picking them out of the heating ducts on that tractor for the next 2 years. Yeah, I bet. Must have been something good size what hit it to do that to it. I know when I'd done the one on the tractor's potato house with that, the whole lot just dropped out of it on the 6920S. Had to be a good size one, the size hole I put in there. It is the bang when it does that, that's for certain. Don't think we need to sleep in the middle of the day, do we? Right, what we got up here now? A few more coming in there. can assign your own tasks. Employees, they're the ones that usually get you to tear your hair out on here. Got some interesting cattle in there. We'll put some money in next time we do this, I think. But for now, that's where I'm going to be leaving it for tonight. So, for now, I will say thank you for watching tonight. Hope you've enjoyed this stream. We'll be back tomorrow night with some farm sim again. But for now, I'll say thank you for watching and see you again next time. Goodbye for now.